Hello and welcome to Tree Town. I am your host, as always, Ryan McCooch, and today I am joined by Bella Petrock of the women's team. Bella, Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
You said you were worried earlier.
Yeah, I am still worried. I'm not a very good speaker, but
it's all right. It'll be.
Yeah.
I'm not either. They gave me this podcast, so it'll be okay.
We're in it together.
Yeah, totally. So just diving right into things. AFC, the women's side.
Mm-hmm.
How has that been going for you so far? What's the season been like for you?
Honestly, I've been loving it so far. We started training right off the bat, 3 days a week. It was I had a week or two off before I transitioning from college ball to AFC, which was pretty nice. And then we got right into it and we started training really hard. And, the season I feel like has been going pretty well. We've been making progressions practice by practice and working on different things. And although our record may not be the most impressive, I feel like we are getting a lot of quality touches on the ball and making new friendships. And we're getting there. I feel like our team is doing better. We're working on things that we need to be working on. So I'm excited for what's left of the season.
Take me through, like you said, making new friendships. It seems like whenever I'm watching a game, you guys are always having a good time out on the pitch.
Yeah.
What's the group of girls like?
Honestly, it's weird because we're all local, but we've all spread out, over around the country, and it's really interesting to see. One of the things that was most surprising to me was how many people we knew in common. You'll go up to any girl, you'll go up to any girl in the team, and you might realize that you guys played on the same club team a few years ago, or you might realize that some players that you've played with in the past they're playing with now. So it's really interesting to see. It's a small world, and we're all interconnected, and all the girls are super friendly. A lot of positive attitudes on the team. I've never seen anybody have a negative attitude so far, and I really love the girls, and it's a really great team atmosphere.
That's always good.
Yeah.
Did you know any girls coming into the season?
I knew Sophia Swire, the goalie, and Emily Eitzman because I played with Sophia for 1 year in high school, my freshman year and her senior year, when we won the state championship for Celine. And then I played with Emily Eitzman when I think she was a freshman and I was a senior for a year. So
okay.
I know those two girls from school, and I'm trying to think. It turns out Maddie Nags and I are actually cousins.
Wait, how did you figure that out?
So at a game, I think it was a week and a half ago or so, my grandma was there, and apparently Maddie's mom is my mom and Maddie's mom are cousins, and they somehow found out at the game. Yeah, so after the game, you
had a family reunion at the game.
Yeah. It was a weird thing, but I guess
that's incredible. That's a great story.
Yeah.
That you met a family member playing this season.
I know.
So take me through. Do you have any favorite moments from the season so far? Do you have any personal high points?
If I had scored yet, that might be my high point.
Yeah,
I
still
have
plenty
yet
of
to
season.
do that. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, my favorite part of the season has probably just been hanging out with the girls at practice and stuff, and just having some laughs on the field. So yeah.
Do you have a favorite aspect of practice?
I do like the 11v11s a lot because it's really just kind of you can have fun at the same time as you're working really hard, and it's always fun when Gary or Boise comes in and they're just going all out and cracking jokes and stuff. So it's a fun time, and you're getting a sweat in it at the same time. So that's probably my favorite part of practice.
I played with Boise for the first time. It was indoor soccer. It was for the staff game. And as anyone who was at the game will tell you, I was objectively the worst player there. I was really bad. Boise was really giving me flack for it. Even the day after, he was so many mistouched passes, and I'm like, Boise, I haven't played since third grade, man. But that's a lot of fun. That's very cool. So you mentioned you were from Celine.
I am.
You're from around the area, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Were you familiar with AFC Ann Arbor before linking up with the team?
Yeah. Actually, a few years ago, maybe, I think it might have been my freshman year, we started, the Celine High School program started doing a youth camp that combined with AFC. And so I kind of became familiar with the club from there. And also one of the AFC men's members Knox. I don't know if you know Knox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he coached my younger brother and my twin sister in club for a few years, so we were pretty close with Knox, and we used to work with him with the Celine youth camp as well. And then just a few events through, like, combined with Celine and Ann Arbor FC, and that's kind of how I became familiar with the club. And I went to a few games as well on the men's side. So. And
how did the spot on the women's team come about? Was it just easy as someone approaching you and being like, hey, do you want to be part of this? Or
I did. Well, my mom forced me to try out.
Did she really?
I was really nervous about it. And so my mom she convinced me to try out, and so I did it, and then
it went well.
Apparently. Well, yeah. So, yep.
So you played at Celine, obviously. You mentioned you won a state championship there as a freshman.
Yeah.
And then you play collegiate soccer now, obviously.
Yes.
What are some of the differences from high school to college, and then from college to, like, this sort of summer ball season?
High school to college for sure is kind of like a work ethic thing, and kind of how seriously you're going to take soccer. So in high school, there are some girls that don't plan on having a future with soccer, so it's kind of like it's more of a fun environment. And then when you go to college soccer, it's everyone's there to achieve the same goal, to win a national championship, to make friends, to improve their own game. So it's kind of a more rigorous program, I guess. Lots of fitness. But also I find that being in college, the team is a lot closer than it was in high school, because everyone's living, in the same
it makes
quarters.
sense. Within the dorms or whatever.
We're together, like, all the time. And then from college ball to AFC, I would say we do train pretty hard. I'd say the training is, like, the same level from college to AFC, if not like more rigorous at AFC.
Okay.
And then, but we don't do, like, outside of soccer training, like no weight training, no conditioning outside of that with the team.
Okay.
But we've had a few, like, team outings, like team dinners, team, like, bowling things or whatever, so that's been pretty
nice.
fun. Yeah. But yeah, overall I've enjoyed my experience throughout high school, college, and AFC so far, so I'm pretty pleased.
Do you have a favorite place to eat here in Ann Arbor?
I have to think.
You really can't go wrong with any place, I feel like. Especially downtown.
Exactly. I'm going to have to go with Mongo, though, Mongolian barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
That hits the spot every time.
That's a classic,
Yeah. What about you? What's your favorite place to eat?
Oh, I've never been asked this on the podcast before. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Frida's. Frida Batidas.
I've never been there.
It's really good. It's like Cuban-inspired burgers. Very good.
I'm going to have to test that out.
I went to Angelo's today, too, if you're familiar with
it. I'm
not. It's breakfast. It's like a diner, basically. But I get breakfast, and I like to go, like, I get food for there, and then I take leftovers home. So I'll get, like, an omelet, and I'll do pancakes, and then I'll eat half.
That's smart. That's really smart,
it's
actually.
So good. It's been around since my mom played basketball here. So.
Oh, really? Okay. Sweet.
It's been very cool.
Yeah.
It's been very kind to us. I took a friend out there today.
Oh, gosh.
Welcome to the Ann Arbor Food Podcast, guys. But
funny.
In terms of soccer, getting back to, like, the collegiate game, you mentioned you attend Ashland. You just finished your freshman year, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. How was it? A big adjustment period for you?
A little bit. In high school, I was, like, super shy. I was basically mute. And going to college, like, I went in, like, with kind of a random roommate that was from my soccer team, and we ended up becoming the best of friends, and she really brought me out of my shell, I guess. And I became, like, really close with all the team, and we've done we made it to the NCAA tournament for the first time in, like, 10 years or something.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Nice.
which was pretty cool. And we had a few players from the team, including myself, like, achieve awards within the GLIAC conference, which was really cool. Our goalie, like, was goalie of the year or something, so that was really impressive.
What'd you win?
I was GLIAC second team.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah. And so I really, I didn't expect to love it as much as I do, and it's really been, like, one of the best times of my life playing in Ashland. So. How
did you end up there? What made you decide to go to Ashland?
really don't know. It was kind of a last minute thing that I didn't.
Was it really?
Yeah, I was recruiting for the longest time, and I never got any leads until I reached out to the coach at Ashland one day. Like, my mom was pestering me to call him, so I just called him, and he was like...
Your mom's really furthering your soccer career.
I know, right? Great lady. She just... so I just gave him a call, and then he just basically accepted me onto the team, like, on that call. So it was pretty, like, random, but it turned out really well, so...
So you mentioned that's a bit of a last-minute thing.
Mm-hmm.
So was playing soccer within college and, perhaps beyond, was that not in your idea or not in your head before high school? Or when did you decide that was going to be something you could really pursue?
Yeah. Basically, my freshman year of high school, I decided that I wanted to play in college.
Okay.
And so I started recruiting super early, and I went to all these, like, D1 camps, and I wasn't getting, like, any leads from there. So it was a struggle for me. Recruiting was really hard. I got in a lot of fights with my mom about it because she made me, like, she really made me work hard about it. And looking back on it, I'm really thankful for that. But it was a really tough time recruiting, and I was struggling with it. But I had always wanted to play in college. That was, like, a dream of mine. And then Ashland came around.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been playing soccer? Has it been your whole life, or?
Yeah, pretty much since like mini kickers days, like 3 or 4. So.
Okay, fair enough. Did you play any other sports, or were you just like strictly soccer?
I played basketball from elementary school to my sophomore year in high school.
Okay, same.
Yeah.
Same.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was all right. I was better
okay?
at it. I had the genes from my mom. But
right. Okay. You mentioned that she played for U of M.
She did.
That's really impressive.
Thanks, Mom. But no, I mean, what were your thoughts on basketball? I know this is a soccer podcast, but
it's all right. It's also a food podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I set the rules apparently. So.
Yeah. I liked basketball. I wasn't like the best at it, and it's not the same because soccer, like my heart is like devoted to soccer, and basketball was more like a pastime. So
it's always fun.
Yeah, it was
have
more
something
like
a hobby.
Exactly. Yeah.
So always been into soccer.
Mm-hmm.
When did you have like a moment when you were younger that you mentioned freshman year of high school is when you wanted to like really play collegiate soccer, but had it always been a dream of yours, like when you were younger, like you said?
Yeah,
okay.
I've always been super into soccer. Like,
where did that come? Like a family thing, or just
know.
Like okay?
I really don't know. My parents just like put me into it when I was really little, so I was just kind of like born into it, I guess.
Okay.
And then, like, I just started loving it more and more the more that I played it. So.
Okay. Did your parents play at all, or?
My dad played for like a year or 2 in high school, and he likes to like give me all these tips like he's a pro player or something. But
yeah.
he didn't play for that long, and my mom didn't play at all, so it was just kind of another random thing, I suppose.
That's super cool though. It's nice to be able to like forge your own path,
Exactly, yeah.
So, just talking more generally about you as a person, in your free time, what do you like to do?
In my free time,
other than being a lifeguard, which we talked about.
Yes, we did.
You work as a lifeguard. Can we talk about that more? Because we had a great off-camera conversation about. So you actually have to yell at kids to stop running.
I do. Yeah.
I thought that was just a cliche.
No, it's real life. You'd think that like, from the number of like lifeguarding, like movies on TV and the number of times.
Literally any teen movie.
Yeah, it's always like no running at the pool, and then kids come to my pool and they like run like they're in a rush. It's my domain.
Your domain.
Exactly, and they like to run around, like they'll run. I mean, it's a concrete deck, so it's not like they're gonna like slip every time they run. But
right. But if they fall, like it's
my
concrete.
Yeah,
you're on watch.
So I gotta blow my whistle at them.
Yeah, which you were provided.
Yes, I was provided with a whistle. Nifty. And I gotta yell at them. So they don't hear me though, because even though I yell like on the soccer field and everything, I'll be screaming and nobody hears me. But I gotta scream at them. Sometimes they hear me, sometimes they don't. But at least I try.
You give it a go. That's what matters. So other than being a lifeguard now, like what else do you like to do?
I like to play with my dog. She's a little rascal.
Oh, what type of dog?
She's a little pit bull, but she's like 50 pounds, so
okay.
It's really not as threatening as you'd think.
No.
Yeah, she's a cutie. And what else? I've been watching Game of Thrones.
Have you?
Have you watched it?
I have seen it all the way through.
Ooh,
yes.
Don't spoil.
I won't. How far in are you?
I'm actually. I think I have like one episode left. I'm probably gonna watch it tonight.
You're on the last. Well, okay. So what have you thought of the series? So I have so many questions. How long did it take you to watch?
Okay, so I started it before school ended, which was probably like 2 months ago.
Okay.
And then my mom was like way ahead of me, and she actually made me skip like 2 seasons so that I could like be caught up with her because she didn't want to watch it alone. So I had to skip so much quality content.
Oh man.
But I grasped it pretty well because I guess now she kind of caught me up. But
okay. Did you track back to those seasons?
No.
No? What seasons were they? Do you know?
I think I skipped like 4 and 5.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if it's like 1, 2, 3, you got to watch those.
Are those like crucial
those
seasons?
Are crucial,
okay.
yeah. 4 is pretty key too, but like
shoot.
5 on, you can kind of like get away with missing stuff.
Yeah.
But like once you're so deep in, you might as well
really,
keep watching it.
I might circle back though if it's really as good as
it is pretty good.
Yeah.
So, do you have a favorite character?
I like Tyrion.
Okay.
And I also like, I don't know his name, but the ginger guy.
Tormund? The wildling?
Yes.
Yeah, Tormund.
Yeah. Who are your favorites?
Oh man, Jon Snow. I've always been a big Jon Snow guy.
Yep. He's a cutie.
Spoiler alert, I was crushed when Ygritte died.
Ygritte. Oh, I know. That was so sad.
It really hurt me.
Yeah.
Because like they locked eyes and like they were so heavy, and then Ali killed her, and I was like, man,
Tears.
It hurt. I watched it all over like 2 weeks.
Seriously?
Also. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I binge watched that show.
I can imagine.
There were 2 less seasons, so it was like 1 through 6.
But the episodes are super long.
That's
so
true. Yeah.
You must have been like binging hard.
I was going hard. Yeah.
I don't blame you.
It was Memorial Day weekend. And I'm just gonna watch it all. Yeah. So, but that's so last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have predictions for what happens? Because so you just saw Dany burn down King's Landing.
I think so. Maybe.
I don't want to spoil it. I'm scared.
I'm honestly kind of confused. Okay, so the last episode I watched.
Yeah, what's the last episode?
Was like the huge war with like the dead army
at
Winterfell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did accidentally spoil something for you.
No,
Don't
it's
worry.
All right.
It's
I didn't really follow what you were saying.
Oh,
so
perfect.
It kind of just
So you have a few episodes left. I think like 3.
Oh, okay.
So do you have? I'm guiding you through the rest of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have predictions for who's gonna end up on the Iron Throne?
I feel like Daenerys is gonna kill Jon Snow before she lets him take the Iron Throne.
Okay.
Because I feel like that was like her one goal this whole season was to claim the Iron Throne, and she's not gonna let him take that from her. So
yeah,
I predict a death for Jon Snow.
Predict Jon Snow will be dead.
Yeah.
Interesting.
At the hand of Daenerys.
Late Game of Thrones season prediction. Yeah. Everyone's already seen it. They're probably like,
yeah, I'm probably judging my prediction, but it's fine.
I internally know what's happening, and like I can't tell you what happens, but
the power.
The power. Yeah, exactly. So, just wrapping up a bit, you mentioned obviously from Ann Arbor. What does it mean to you, representing AFC Ann Arbor, which is the biggest like non-U of M team here in Ann Arbor? What does that mean to you with this being the inaugural season for the women as well?
It honestly means a lot. I feel like I'm a part of the start of something, and I know we're just starting, but I feel like we have so much room to grow into like a huge program. And it's really cool, since I've been around here my whole life, it's so cool to be able to represent, this area and soccer in this area and be able to have, that community support from people that I'm familiar with and people just around this area. It's really the coolest thing, one of the coolest experiences I've had. And all of the coaches that, I'm familiar with some of the coaches and some of the girls and just some of the people involved with the AFC, and it's really just been like a huge family thing, and I'm really excited to see, how far the women's side can go. in years to come. So
I definitely think everyone here in the organization and the city would agree with you. So Bella, thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you.
Great
it's really
conversation.
Been a great time.
We've had a blast.
We have.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are back with Welcome to Tree Town, and I'm here with Amanda Britton. Amanda, thank you for coming on.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
So just jumping right into it, the season has been in full force now. We are actually doing this podcast before you go to training right now.
Yeah.
Before I go to class. But what's your assessment been of the season so far?
I've had a lot of fun with the team. Obviously, I don't think this season overall has gone how the team wants it, just like with our record. But overall, I mean, I've enjoyed it. I thought it's been fun, and there's still a little bit left to go, so I'm excited.
Now, is this your first season playing at this sort of like semi-professional level?
Yeah, I played with the Michigan Jags at the lower level last summer, but this is my first time at semi-pro. So.
Okay. Has that been an adjustment for you from that level with the Jags up to here?
Yeah, I would say so. Just the level overall between our team and just the teams we're competing against has definitely been a level up.
Okay. So you also play collegiate soccer as well,
yeah.
correct? At Central?
Yep.
And are there big differences between the collegiate game and the summer game?
There's some differences, but I mean overall, like all the girls that I'm playing with or against, I mean they're all playing at the collegiate level, or most, or like even Mommy. I mean she's very successful player, so there's definitely some differences, but overall, I mean, there's a lot of girls from my team in other teams on the league, so.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah. So you have, a variety of players from that level at both levels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so take me through you personally getting into soccer. Have you played soccer your whole life?
Yeah, I've played since I was like 5. My sister, actually, she's older than me, she started playing, and then once I saw her playing, I was like, oh, I'll try it. And ever since, I've been playing, so yeah.
Okay, and did you play any sports growing up other than soccer, or have you always been soccer?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of everything. I played volleyball, basketball, track, cross country. I did like figure skating for a little bit.
Did you really?
Yeah, but I didn't want to compete, so then I was like, I'll quit.
That kind of limits you.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I've kind of tried it all, but soccer was definitely my favorite.
Okay, and at what point did you realize, like, playing soccer is something I can do collegiately and here at this level?
I would say, like, my freshman year of high school is when I was like, you know what, I want to see if I can take this further and go at the collegiate level, so yeah.
Okay. Now that you're here, it's been, how many league games has there been? 6 or 7?
Yeah, about, yeah.
So are there any that in particular that like stand out to you in your memory?
Well, I liked the last Milk Cup game just because we were really playing well, I thought. Obviously, we had a big win.
Right.
But I would say my first game at Concordia, that was cool because, I got the home atmosphere, and I was really nervous because it was my first game with the team, but I thought it went well, even though we didn't get the win, but like I was happy. It was cool for me to play, so I thought that was really fun.
Take me through that home atmosphere a little bit. Like, what's it like playing in front of like a crowd of people that are there to see you?
Yeah, it's really cool. I think the community like really supports the team, which is something I haven't really experienced before. So, I mean, I really appreciate the support and, the hooligans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome. So it was just cool to see like the community behind you.
That's really cool. I know the hooligans will appreciate the shout out too. Now, you personally, how did you get involved here with AFC?
I was looking for a summer team, and actually Barry Scott texted me, and he said, hey, we're looking for players. You want to come to the tryout? And then I went to tryout, and it went well. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Now, take me through like the tryout, because I don't think I've talked about this too much with too many people. Do you get like nervous before the tryout?
Yeah, I was nervous because like this is something I wanted to do, so I wanted to make the team, obviously. And so going to tryout, we had to come from Central. It was me and Devin Bro drove up here.
Oh, okay.
So we were kind of I don't know if she was, but I was nervous. And so I actually ended up driving because for me, like, driving calms me down. So, and then, but once I got to the tryout, there was actually a lot of people I knew. So that helped a little, but I was definitely nervous, and I felt like some of my playing was like, I was panicked just because I was nervous. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But now that, so you make the tryout, you join the team.
Yeah.
What's training been like for you from the start of the season till now? Can you see the team improve? Can you see yourself improve?
Yeah, I've definitely seen myself improve. Plus, like, adding to it, I was nervous the first week of practice. I was, I wanted to do well. I wanted to try and make the travel roster. So I was definitely, like, just pressured to do well. But as the season's gone on, I feel like everyone's comfortable with each other, and I think we understand each other as players better now too. So it's easier to, find the pass that Tatiana wants versus Sue.
That makes sense. Now, do you still get nervous before games? Are you superstitious?
I don't think I'm superstitious, but I do, like, there's some routines that I like to maintain.
Okay.
So yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. Do you have, like, a specific, like, game day? What's involved in your game day routine?
Well, for breakfast, I like to have, like, similar things. So usually I eat, like, a banana, yogurt, and a piece of bread to, like, I always do that the same. And then it depends on the game time for, like, other stuff, because, like, if it's late at night, obviously I need to eat a lot during the day.
Right.
Where if it's in the afternoon, don't chow down.
Right, yeah.
But then once I get to the field, kind of just listening to music, and then I like to do some footwork stuff. I don't know if it actually does help me, but I think that if I do good at that, I have noticed that I play better in games. So maybe just
if it works, it works.
Yeah, so that's it pretty much.
Okay. Now, looking ahead at the season, and back for that matter, you mentioned, like, making the travel roster and that sort of things. Have you had, like, a favorite road trip so far? Are you looking, or, like, take me through a road trip. Does your routine change that much?
No, not really. I mean, I've only traveled on the bus once because I live so far away from Ann Arbor, it makes more sense for me to drive. But the one bus trip, I mean, it was fun and, kind of nice to just chill and relax. We drove to Lansing is the trip I went to. And, but yeah, it was nice.
Okay, very cool. Now, you being from Walled Lake, are you familiar with Ann Arbor in general?
No, not at all. No, I've like barely even been here until now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while you've been around, have you done anything, like, fun after practice here in Ann Arbor, or are you still, like, haven't explored?
I haven't explored very much. My mom and I tried to go to a restaurant in Ann Arbor after, like, a weekend game, and it ended up the restaurant that we wanted to go to was closed. They closed early.
Oh, that's brutal.
I know.
Summer hours are killer.
Yeah, so haven't explored it yet, but hope to soon.
Okay, so in general, what do you like to do in your free time?
Soccer. I mean, soccer, stay in shape for soccer, because with like at Central, I have to be ready to go for that.
Oh, yeah.
But I've been watching the World Cup. That's been fun.
Have you?
Yeah. But I don't know. I kind of just hang out with friends, family.
Sense.
I do some coaching and camps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm not like a full-time coach, but I help.
What level do you coach?
Just youth with Jags. Like, I did tryouts this past weekend. I helped, like.
Oh, how were those?
Good. Long days, and it was cold on Sunday.
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was raining all day. But I think they went good, and I had fun, so yeah.
Now, in your experience coaching, do you find that it helps you as a player as well, or is it okay?
Most of the teams I helped with were younger, but I mean, just teaching them the basics. I mean, I have a better understanding of the basics if I can teach them the basics.
Right.
So yeah.
Do you have any favorite, like, coaching memories at all?
Not really.
No.
Just, I mean, some of the kids say crazy, funny stuff.
Yeah.
But nothing that, like, stands out.
I think when we had Boise on, he mentioned his U9s team, and he talked about, so it's always funny to hear about, like, coaching the youth, because, like you said, they can say some pretty funny things.
Yeah, they're pretty funny, but no, yeah, it was good.
Okay. So just talking a bit about your collegiate level, you said at Central you you're constantly working at at the college level. Is that something that's different for you from the college level to summer ball, like having a more strict regime?
Yeah, I would say so. It's a little stricter at the college level. Not that this obviously.
Oh, right, yeah.
This is good and challenging, and it's helping me stay where I need to be when I return in the fall. So, I mean, I'm really excited to be here, and it's been fun so far.
Do you have like a preference? Do you like that this is how my day's gonna be, or like go with the flow?
I do like the stricter schedule of like being at school where you have practice and you have class. Like it keeps me very organized and like in a routine, obviously.
Right.
But there is the plus sides of being more relaxed or practice and then figure out whatever the rest of the day is gonna be.
Right. How do you manage to keep like class and school all together?
Well, you don't have that much time, so you really have to. When you have free time, you got to grind. You got to do your homework, and I don't know. For me, that works. For other people, I know they struggle, but just finding a place where I can sit down and just really focus and get my work done fast is something I've found useful.
Okay. Now, how did you end up at Central Michigan?
Actually, I originally didn't end up at Central. I actually went to a school called Mount St. Mary's. It's in Maryland.
Okay.
And I was there for a semester, and things weren't working out. And thankfully, the coaching staff there and at Central were able to work with me.
Oh,
and
nice.
so I actually transferred to Central.
Okay.
My freshman year, so the spring season, and my sister actually plays at Central Michigan as well. So that helped me adapt, and now I'm fully at Central and in the swing of things. So.
Nice. Do you have a favorite thing about Mount Pleasant?
I don't think I have a favorite part, but I really do enjoy it. Like, it's definitely, home away from home for sure.
So now here today, after this podcast, you're off to training.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite things about training? Do you enjoy training? I guess would be the first question.
I do. I like training. I like getting touches. And I enjoy playing soccer, so it's just another way to play soccer to me. But I like the coaches that we always usually play big, like at the end.
Okay.
So, and I think that's really useful because no matter how good you are at like a passing drill or something, you got to be able to like demonstrate it in a game. So I think playing big at the end is really useful. And I don't think like most places I've gone, we don't end with that always. So
really,
I enjoy that. Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you enjoy the coaching staff as well. What is it about them that?
They're really fun and funny. Like, I'd never met Andy before this season, so it's been fun getting to know him. And I've known Barry through Michigan Jaguars, so, he's a funny guy. And it's just a nice atmosphere to be around.
Okay. Now, in terms of Ann Arbor in general, like you mentioned, you're not super familiar with the community, but, like, being around it, can you tell what the team means to the community itself?
Oh, for sure. The team means a lot, and you can tell by the support. Like I mentioned earlier, like I've never been a part of something like this, and it's so cool, and I'm glad that I can be a part of this for them, and hopefully I'm making them proud.
Absolutely. Were you familiar with AFC Ann Arbor before this season?
No, I wasn't actually,
really?
But the boys' side is really successful now that I know about it. Yeah, so, it's awesome to be a part of it. Even though we haven't been that successful, we're working on it.
Yeah, exactly. I mentioned this. We'll have Bella on this episode earlier, and I mentioned it always seems like you guys are like having a good time out on the pitch.
Yeah.
And that's really important because I feel like the fans are able to kind of like feed off that.
Yeah.
And see if you guys are enjoying it, then it's easier for everyone to enjoy it.
Right. Yeah, I hope so. I hope they're having fun, and we've had some really good moments in the season. Like there's been
the win against Grand Rapids was great.
Yeah, and like even like in the games we haven't been able to pull off a win, like we've had moments where like you can see our potential. So hopefully they see that and we'll keep growing. Yeah,
the quality is definitely there for sure. Last question for you.
Okay.
What is your favorite memory of the season so far?
I don't know if I have one.
No?
No. Well, the season's not over yet.
That's true. That's fair.
I'll come back to you at the end of the season.
I was going to say, we'll have to have you back on and we can talk about it.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Amanda, thank you again for coming on before training. I appreciate you. It's like God, it's like 8:30
Yeah.
right now.
No, anytime. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching. As always, follow us on Twitter at AFC Ann Arbor to stay tuned with all the latest updates, and keep tuned to afcannarbor.com. Until next time, I'm Ryan McCooch. Take care.